Historians disagree on what the word Potomac actually means. There's better agreement, however, on where the word Potomac came from. The Potomac Native American tribe that lived in this region several centuries ago, that's the origin of the word Potomac. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist and science teacher Ryan Miller. Let's focus today on the Potomac Interceptor, 72-inch concrete raw sewage line that ruptured several weeks ago. That spewed the largest amount of raw sewage into the natural environment than what we've ever seen before here in North America, at least non-storm related. Let's focus today on what could potentially be done to mitigate the impacts from this environmental disaster that has occurred along the banks of the Potomac River. When I teach environmental science, pollution management boils down to three things. You can prevent pollution, you can control pollution, or you can cure and clean it up. Now, from a preventative standpoint, of course, it boils down to more robust monitoring of our aging infrastructure, doing it in a way that will prevent any of these situations from happening again. Controlling pollution is what's happening now with the engineering occurring along the banks of the C&O Canal and near the site of the rupture, where engineers have diverted the flow of raw sewage into the C&O Canal to put it then back into the Potomac Interceptor. That is happening. But let's focus for a second on what we could do to speed up the recovery of the environmental system along the Potomac River, the area that we use so much for recreation, for our water, for lots of things, including several food resources downstream and heading towards the Chesapeake. I spoke with some engineers, I spoke with environmental scientists, and I agree, using aeration, blowing air into the water of the Potomac River could have some beneficial impacts. I actually suggest doing it close to the Chain Bridge. The river at that point at Chain Bridge is about 300 feet across. Equipment could get there easily, or at least easy enough, and water could be pumped, or air could be pumped into the water. And if you increase the amount of oxygen in the water, that will allow bacteria to grow and actually decompose and help to break down a lot of the pollutants that exist in the water. We do this right now at sewage treatment plants, and I suggest, and the engineers and the scientists I've spoken to suggest that we try it. Why not? We have only the environment to protect and try to get it better, and we can certainly try and see if this, as an experiment, could make things better. Are there downsides to this? I went through the data, I went through the research. I don't think I see anything from a downside perspective that would prevent us from trying aeration. We could use lime, calcium hydroxide, or calcium carbonate, various forms of lime and limestone. If we put that in the environment near the spill, it could raise the pH and kill some of the pathogens. That is also done in sewage treatment, but there is a lot more consequence from the downside of things if we end up using lime. So let's think about potentially getting this problem fixed, at least in the short term, so we can all start using that river more and use it safely and get it back to the conditions it used to be. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist and science teacher Ryan Miller.